It's Ray Give TV.
In the block.
Let's get right to it.
Anything that every other man is fallible to. Like they act like he's Jesus. That's right? So I'm saying, Kanye.
No, it ain't. That's giving that man his credit, his status.
You say again?
That's giving him his status, giving him his credit.
No, everybody act like Kendrick could do no wrong. Like
Hey
people
man, let
talk
me
about
ask you
like
a
he's a
question, man. Can
revolutionary.
I line up an interview with you and my nephew over there? I don't know if you can have it.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about off the West Coast.
Who? Daylight?
I think you
know
look.
who?
No. I think you're a little scared of me. Come on, you know who?
Who?
He said he'd never talk to you, but I think I can get him to do it.
Who? Wait. Who?
Come on, bro.
Wait, who? Who don't want to talk to me? They love me in the West.
Come on, bro. You know what I'm talking about, bro.
Chad, who's he talking about?
You know.
Who? Throw me a hint.
You really go. He's the voice of the West Coast.
Who's the voice of, like, media wise?
He's the voice of the West Coast.
When it comes
his co-host name is Gina Views.
If it's the voice of the West Coast, it's Adam 22. When it comes to, he's the biggest media personality on the West. I'm sorry. Adam 22 is the biggest media personality on the West.
So you scared to talk to nephew?
Are you referring to DJ Head?
There we go. See, I was gonna make you put some respect on this name.
With all due respect,
got it.
With all due respect,
change your PTR. I was gonna make sure you put respect on his name. Stop acting like you don't know the we talking about.
With all due respect, and this is why I say people laugh at the West Coast. We be treating y'all like the special kid in the class. Like, you know what I mean? When you get an F, we just give y'all an A. Because if he's the biggest voice on the West Coast with non-existent
do you think you can handle a conversation with him?
With a non-existent platform, he basically don't got nothing going on. Like, I mean,
do you think you can handle a conversation?
Of course, I could handle a conversation with him. Here's the thing, though: it won't be a conversation.
I'm gonna set it up.
It won't be a conversation in good faith because we've had that conversation on stream, and he flat out said he refuses to give certain props to other people that might look disparaging to Kendrick because he came up with him. And when someone says that, hey, you're not having a good faith discussion.
I'm gonna line it up, bro. I'm gonna line it up. We're gonna line it up.
It's like would you have if you say someone's your brother and somebody wants to debate you objectively and you're like, well, I mean,
I debate you all the time.
But all right, hold on, see, I hate to bring this up, but remember when they were going around about what's the work, who got the work? I mean, you were doing that when people said, well, why you ain't cover the work on QCP? That's your brother. You don't give a niggas say, and I like that you say that because some shit
check this out.
Check this out. And you should have a bias.
Listen, check this out.
See?
Some people that don't do internet shit, I don't put them in internet shit. I'm just being real.
Wack, I've heard you talk about
some people that don't do it.
Wack, you talk about a nigga named Stutterbox. I was Googling who the fuck this nigga. I don't know who he is, bro. You been talking about
only because he allowed them to pull him into the internet shit.
No, but you talk about a lot of people that's not. You introduced me to half of the West Coast. Like, you in the Hunter side. Because when I listen to y'all in the morning, I know y'all gonna be talking specialized about certain shit. Y'all got the details, and I'm checking y'all out. But a lot of times I'm Googling to say, who the hell is it?
I just mentioned QCP. I just told you they all called and chastised me the other day. Like 1 in the morning.
What'd you do?
And I got this woman over here who say she my queen over here talking about tell him again.
Oh, don't tell me R&B was gassing it.
Oh my God.
No way.
What?
Now,
as pretty as that ass was on the side of me, I said, get the away from me.
Hey, but here's the thing. Again, I'm down to have a conversation with DJ Head. I'll say this though. I don't think it'll be a conversation that's in good faith because put it like this. If you ask him to give one criticism of Kendrick, he can't do it. If you ask me to give a criticism of Drake, I could give you 20 of them. Because not only am I a fan of Drake, I'm also a critique of Drake. I'm the one who said when For the Dogs came out at first, it's not what I expected. Why does it sound like this? Why is he leaning into certain things?
Have you ever had a session with Big Boy?
No, but I definitely have a tremendous respect for Big Boy. Big Boy's
I'm gonna set that one up for you next. That's gonna be big.
yeah.
I'm gonna have him come on your shit. I'm gonna have him call in. That's my brother. See now, Act. You see how, and I will tell you this. We're gonna move on with the questioning. People be wondering how I got or get so much shit. Act. You gotta remember, bro. My phone book is a mother.
Now you do got an extensive Rolodex. I mean, you're the
It's
one who
not.
got Snoop Dogg on the stream. You know you got Snoop Dogg on here. I was like,
Look. We on your stream. I'm like, hold on. Let me hit dog. You thought I was capping.
yeah, nah, I definitely did.
Right?
I thought it was AI when he first came on.
Yo, Axe, dog on what? Yeah, what's up? That's right. You know what I'm saying? Right? I deal with people don't even know I deal with. Like if R&B was to come in here, she'd tell you the type of people call this phone, the type of business that I do. From all kind of shit. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I got a lot of history with a lot of people, bro, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. Yo, Floor, who compiled the questions for this dude? A, B, one of y'all, somebody. Who compiled the questions? Nobody?
Good
Yo,
afternoon.
Wack, salute.
Good afternoon.
There you go.
Hey, Akademiks, thank you so much for coming back through to our stage. You know it's the 100 side, the best side. We appreciate you taking your time out today. We do have some questions from on the stage. I know Tink DS, but I also have a question to open up. So just watching your video, I saw how you walked in, you know, kind of smooth. You was trying to get your hat right, you know, front, back.
Yeah.
Then you started moving furniture. Were you expecting to have a stand-up interview face-to-face with Kanye? And how did you adjust to all of that?
That's why I like how, by the way, thank you for your question, by the way, you know, shout out to the other side. That's what I do like about it being like, you see me get out the car and you then see him get in the car. Like everything is unedited, but I had no idea what to expect. I'm thinking, I don't know if I've met a billionaire before. I don't know. Well, I guess I have, but I haven't been a hip hop. I thought it was going to be a lot of people. I thought it was going to be, and again, just his personality. Sometimes he could be hot, he could be cold. So I didn't know what it was going to be. And also, like, because it's Kanye, I think he, you know, I look at him when it comes to production, not only music, but even video, as having really high standards. And I'm like, dog, I'm doing this off of a vlog mic and a camera. And I was a little bit nervous, definitely nervous. And also, here's the thing too. You know, somebody said in my chat, they were like, yo, bro, out of all the people you support and the people you like, bro, Kanye West gave you this interview before a lot of them. And also, here's the thing. I was surprised how it was just me and him. It wasn't like a bunch of red tape. I told him this. I said, usually the richer people they have people around them and it gets bureaucratic, and you're dealing with, you got to talk to the assistant that talks to the stylist who jumps on set to be like, yo, I got to fix his hair, I got to fix his shirt. And it was only Ye in that room. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm glad how it turned out, but was I nervous? Hell yeah. And of course, him asking me to move the furniture, nigga, sorry about my English, like, yo, at that point I became an IKEA worker. Who cares? I was, hey, I'm a
right,
person,
whatever.
Yeah, I'm a person who, like, I've always got my hands dirty. Like, you know, what people don't realize about me, like, way back in the day, this is 2013. Like, I last had a regular job in 2013. I had, which I just brought back to my house at this point. I'm a hoarder a little bit. I had this Mazda 3. I used to record YouTube videos out the back of it when I used to tell my boss I'm going to the bathroom. I would record YouTube videos out of that. So I only say that to say, like, if I need to get my hands dirty, like, I'm always down for that. I'm not the guy who walks in like, all right, set up production and just back me up and let's go. Like, hey, if I'm moving furniture, I was going to get it done by a hook or by a crook. I don't care what it was. Even if it was on an iPhone.
Dope. Yeah, it was definitely a great interview. And I thought of all of those things. I was like, man, how did he even score this stand-up interview? Because it ended up being a stand-up interview. But shoot, it sounds like you have some connections. Now, was it one of those things where you did have to speak to his assistant first, or it was like a direct line?
Yeah, so there was like, you know, one person in between just kind of trying to set up logistics at first before everything went haywire. And by the way, I do want to address, because I do see this people saying this on Twitter. They're saying, fuck the KKK outfit or whatever he had going on. The most impressive thing was this nigga Akademiks stood for a straight hour. That deserves a Pulitzer Prize. It wasn't as uncomfortable as you think. Honestly, I was just standing there like, you know, I didn't know what he was gonna do. Like, at times I felt he was gonna, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, so it didn't even feel like I was standing. I felt like I was like floating. That might sound dick riderish, but I felt like I was like floating in that space, and I was like struggling at times to like process everything he was saying at the level that he wanted to make sure I'm asking the right questions. And he definitely had his point of what he wanted to get out. So, and by the way, he requested the interview. He requested it, so he requested it on Twitter. And
dope.
I think the reason why he requested it, I sent out a tweet, and I said, I think this year people have to channel their yay energy. And the reason why I said that was that, you know, I definitely think speech and how people like this woke stuff, and it could be woke in any type of way you want to think about it. It's kind of made people so scared to say what's on their mind. And that doesn't mean I agree with everything he says, but being able to say what's on your mind, hopefully it's not going to, like, everyone doesn't hate you for it. But I do think that's an ideal that people are missing on social media and on just like the internet period, where people should be able to say what you feel. Hopefully it's not something that'll get you to lose your job or your bank accounts. But I think that's the yay energy I was talking about. I think he's seen that, and then he was just like, yo, I want to connect with that guy because he's at least seeing some facet of me being able to express myself and me valuing that. So yeah, and that's another reason why I kept it, or I wanted to keep it unedited. And by the way, I think it was pretty much unedited.
It definitely appeared to come across unedited, and that is something I like about you too, is like you kind of just have your own opinion and you keep it real to yourself. So shout out to you. I do have some more team members on stage who are looking to ask some questions. Tink, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, Ek?
Tink, what's good? I've heard your name a few times. I've heard Wack say it. I heard you kick the lid off a couple things all here.
Just a couple. But I did want to ask the question because, you know, I'm from Chicago. Mm-hmm. With Kanye being from Chicago, you know, I know you have heavily interview with Dirk and things to that nature, G Herbo, Polo G, all of these people, especially when it came down to your Warren Chirac era or whatever, with everything that you cover with the Chicago culture, did this interview, like, did it make you look at Chicago a little differently, or was you more so looking at like just Kanye period, like within him?
Well, I definitely say that so, you know, Chicago, I think is just, first of all, Chicago is a super multifaceted place, because if you could think about me interviewing Dirk, and then think about me interviewing Kanye. By the way, I've interviewed even Dreezy back in the day, but there's different ways of it with Kanye. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, and Wack might have thought I was just dick riding trying to get to Japan. Like, I really do look at this guy as, you know, really one of the best hip hop artists, really the best hip hop artist of all time. So being able to, you know, try to soak up some game, or at least trying to challenge him, or even, you know, I mean, I didn't think this was going to happen that quickly. So it definitely made me look at Chicago. Chicago artists show me a lot of love, and I try to show them love. So, you know, I think that's what we could say. You know, anytime when people bring up whether it's Warren Chirac or whatever, like, definitely my career has 100% not only been benefited by Chicago, but Chicago is always tied into my story, whether it's the artists I've covered, whether it's the love I've gotten, or even sometimes, you know, some of the backlash. But it's all part of the story. So, you know, I love Chicago. You know, I mean, I love the fact that there's that dichotomy between a Ye and a Dirk, a Ye and a Vaughn, or a Ye and a Keith. So, yeah, you know, Chicago's a great place, especially for music. Well, for music.
For everything, food, everything, you got it in Chicago. But I'm gonna pass it off to
T. Bradshaw. T. Bradshaw, you on the stage?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, T. Bradshaw, you up next.
Trap Bradshaw. So, saying throughout the whole interview that Ye had a lot to say about, he was kind of kicking down on not kicking down, but going at Kendrick and bigging up Drake though, man. Did do you feel as if like, where do you think the change of feelings came from?
That's a really good question. So, you know what I kind of realized about everything that was happening, right? And this is how, you know, if you want to like, you know, I try to do a director's cut, like, you know, reacting to the interview when it first came out. But one thing I realized is that all of his beefs or all of the things, the axes he had to grind, kind of came from the same things, right? So, like, for example, because even, and by the way, I was speaking to him the other night as well, and he had talked about, like, he had mentioned something about R. Kelly, and for him, it's him seeing certain people, and he feel like he's seen how the media or whatever did to them. And not that these people are like angels or whatever, but he identifies somewhat with it. And I think that's where the Drake thing comes in. I think he still looks at Drake as a rival. I don't think he really rocks with Drake like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole different thing. But I think when he looked at it, he's like, you know what? What's happening to Drake is what happens when partially the industry has pressed the button to say, we've had enough of you. And we're going to humble you and put you in check. And that's how he looks at it. And for him, he looks at himself to say,
It's Ray Give TV.
In the block.
Let's get right to it.
They tried to do the same thing to me. So I think that's why he speaks maybe pro Drake in a sense of comparing it to Kendrick. And he probably speaks against Kendrick because he's saying, yo, Kendrick, you might think that this is just about you winning a back and forth versus this other guy, but you should also realize that there's other forces. It's not just you. Great, you made a great song, you did good in the battle, but it's not just you. There's other forces that are affecting this, and I know this too well because those same forces, when they wanted to humble me or get me out of the paint, they also affected me. So I think that's where his criticism is. He uses a Matrix reference where he's like, yo, you know, and he said it with Cardi, you know, and he kept saying like he feels Cardi's operating on the behalf of some of these people with that invisible hand that's, you know, trying to either push a certain agenda, this and third. And I guess he's saying that to Kendrick where he's saying, yo, a lot of what you're doing now, as you may think it's you, but there's an agenda behind it. And I'm never going to be cool with those people that end up being agents of those people with the agenda. So if you understand that point, I think you might understand why he's speaking about Kendrick a lot. Now, he also admitted that he is jealous. And I thought that was a very introspective view and also an honest view, right? Like, of course, he's human. He wanted to be on an album. You know, whatever that happened with the Cardi thing, again, he knows just like I know. Cardi made certain decisions. Kendrick got on the album a few times, supposedly had some maybe input. And however it came about, it was decided that Kanye shouldn't be on the album. So you can see why he's feeling a certain type of way about it. He's not just spewing just random like whatever. It's coming from his POV, if you get what I'm saying.
I got you. You seen the Nokia video yet?
You low as fuck, Bradshaw.
Nah.
You low, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was asking a simple question. I'm good. I'm fixing my mic over here. I'll be back.
Wait. Was he asking if I saw the Nokia video? No, I didn't see the Nokia video yet, but I see
That's what I
circulating on
asked.
Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I asked. You seen the
Okay,
Nokia?
there you go. Bradshaw, listen, bro. Listen, brother. You at home over here.
It's a fact. Good looking.
You know, listen. You know the things I got to deal with, you don't have to deal with on this floor. It's order over here, Bradshaw. Hey, Ayon, if Ayon is in that goo, y'all find my brother, pull him up.
He
You
on
want me to
stage.
say something to come? Ayon, go ahead. And don't ever disrespect me like that again. I'm going to attack you. Motherfucker asked me, did he ask a question?
So I have a question for you, academics. Well, first of all, one great interview. It was really dope.
By the way, thank you. It means a lot from you because I know we've kind of.
There you go, my boy. Remembered him. That's why that.
I remember. That means a lot from you. Appreciate it. Hey, not to cut you off, but I will say, I was also thinking about that, like walking away from the situation. I'm like, I didn't want to be the person who let.
What
premium content, man. You already know. Wack 100. DJ Akademiks breaking it down yet again. And to everybody out there, remember, your hard work will pay off. Do what you gotta do today to be prepared for tomorrow. Make a plan, write it down, and execute that thing. You hear me? But you gotta be proactive. I repeat, you gotta be proactive, man. It's one thing to talk about it. You gotta be about it, you feel me? But until next time, it's your boy Ray Gibb, and I'm gone. God bless. Peace.